Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Short Answer. It is always a great joy to be with you here in The Short Answer, and today, happy solstice. It is a beautiful time of the year, and it is a most amazing time, actually, as are all times, to contribute to a cycle that is happening in our lives. And I can't wait to dig into a little bit about The Short Answer in just a few moments to share about why now is the time for you to be actioning your light, to be actioning you, the light that you are, because the whole of the universe is in support of this in one way or the other. No matter where you are on the planet, whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, today is a significant day. You know, we think of it as a summer solstice and the longest day when we're in one location of the planet, and we think of it as quite the opposite on the other side of the planet. And it is important that we start thinking in terms of wholeness. We start thinking in terms of our neighbors on the other side, no matter where we are. And so we're going to have a lovely conversation about that in just a few moments. I have a couple of announcements to go over just beforehand so that I don't forget to tell you some of these amazing and exciting things that are happening inside of Mortar Institute. So let me grab my little announcement sheet. Okay, so we have a program in September coming up that is a significant program that I want to make sure everyone knows about. And we are starting registrations right now, and people are registering very rapidly, and I want you to know about this as quickly as possible. It is called Ignite, and it is very much aligned with the conversation that we're going to be having this evening. But it is about us really stepping into the full-on expression of who and what we are. It isn't about finding more of who you are only. It's about accessing that and setting it in motion, expressing, pouring out into the world what it is that you are here to be. Whether that version of pouring out into the world for you is speaking truthfully into relationships, or relationships in your life that are guarded or protected in some way and not exactly flowing in free, fluid honesty in a loving way. It might mean that you are ready to engage in a project, perhaps a business or an exploration or expanding your outreach. If you're a coach or a practitioner or something along those lines, we have many, many people in our community that are that. Ignite is about accessing the circuitry for you to roll out into the world in whatever ways you choose to do. In your world, it might look like actually healing instead of thinking about healing or worrying about not healing or spending your energy trying to figure out what's wrong so that you can fix it. Ignite is literally a quantum flip in our consciousness to the front side of the model of consciousness that I reference in terms of let's build up what's right. Let's allow that to pick up momentum and to have an imbibition type of action inside of your system, which means that it absorbs more of the same and energy moves because we're aligning with what is true for us. Not that we're trying to find a problem and fix it or find our blocks and fix them. It's just not enough. We're here to express fully into the world as everything that we are meant to be. And sometimes that's frightening. You might be leaving behind family traditions. You might be leaving behind some cultural norms. You might be releasing attachments to some stabilizing factors that have been in your life for, maybe a long, long time. And it isn't about letting go, releasing, or challenging some old belief system. It's about dropping in and experiencing who you really are, and then building the circuitry to walk that out into the world. Because the universe is 1000% in support of you doing that. It actually, if it wanted anything, it would want you to be doing that. Because if you were busy doing that, you wouldn't be busy maintaining a vacuum of concealed energy and concealed potential, all because we don't know how to express, or we don't know that we're not expressing. So we're going to get a bunch of people in the room together, and all day long we're going to go through one experiential exercise after another, infusing and immersing you in the vibrational frequency of creatorship, of finding, feeling, and walking you out into the world. I can't wait to do it. We've never done it before. It's an in-person event in Scottsdale, Arizona in September. The dates of that are September 14, 15, 16, and 17. And there is early bird pricing through July 15th. For more information to register, you can see that in the comment section below. Definitely something you want to check out, okay? It is, as I said, it's the first time that we've done this, and I have a feeling that it is a movement that we're going to be engaging in, moving the energy by anchoring and grounding and recognizing and then surfacing as that in whole new ways. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that you will join me in September. Okay, we also have our next healing transmission. Our monthly healing transmission is Wednesday, June 28th, coming up, and I would invite your friends and show up to that and allow for a beginning of what we're going to be working with all the way up until our event in September. So join us for the healing transmission Wednesday, the 28th. And that, of course, is complimentary, and the information of how to register for that is in the comments below. Also, it is monthlyhealingtransmission.com. Okay, and also for some of you are aware that we are starting an event this weekend that is for our spiritual best practitioners, and you are invited to come into this retreat to hone and refine your skills as practitioners so that we are truly aligned as a team of people to help facilitate what is now rising in humanity. And it looks a little messy right now for humanity, but it isn't at all. It literally is the emergence of a new version of us. We are being called into our creatorship like never before. And so inside of our spiritual best practitioner retreat this weekend, we're going to be teaching you how to draw people forward into their creatorship. So if you are a certified spiritual best practitioner, you are certainly welcome to join us. If you're not aware of that happening this weekend, now you are, okay? So looking forward to actually developing further some new procedures that we're going to be teaching in December. So if you're not a certified spiritual best practitioner, but you would like to learn about our hands-on and our remote healing coursework, we're going to be delivering some beautiful content in December along those lines. So you might want to inquire with us at info@drsumotor.com to learn more about what's coming down the pike in December if you're unable to or not qualified to join us this weekend for the Spiritual Best Mentorship Programs Retreat. Okay, and in addition to that, we have the gold membership that we always want to announce, because directly following this, we go into a beautiful masterclass where we're weaving together all sorts of ideas into an answer that is designed to leave you feeling confident and grounded and clear in your own unique expression in the world, and that all of it is meant to inform, and more than inform, to activate you in a way that you can live into the life that you're wanting to have, rather than just learning all about how it could be or just learning what science is telling us is possible. We do all that, but we're also weaving that together inside of a how-to sort of approach to life. So that's the masterclass directly following this. Okay, so I think those are our announcements. It looks like I got through my page and we're ready to roll. So I want to spend just a few moments with you in a deeply sincere message, and that is that there will be times in your life that you know something is deeply true for you, and you know that it's time for you to step into it somehow. And you will also recognize that you feel like your mind thinks it doesn't know how to do that. It doesn't know what step to take. It doesn't know how it's going to work out. It doesn't have all the parameters in place in such a fashion that you can predict every step and the sequencing and the timing of those steps beforehand. And as a true creator, I want you to begin to recognize that you're not necessarily supposed to know those things. If you're an innovator, You're literally carving a path that perhaps hasn't ever been carved the way that you can sense and feel it as a possibility in your life. And so you're an innovator, a frontiersman, if you will. You're on that cutting edge of consciousness, and you're here to deliver the light that you are, period. Now, I don't mean like this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm not talking about just that, okay? So it's a beautiful song and it's a beautiful concept, and we love it when we get to sing it together, whenever, wherever on the planet you might have ever been exposed to that. But it's deeper in terms of you don't possess a light, you don't have one, you are solution. So when someone doesn't know who they are, that's okay. What I really want you to understand is how to feel your way in clarity, grounded certainty, and a collectedness that allows you to walk forward and discover the way along the way, and to have a synchronized or an integrated approach to doing so, so that when you feel something rising in you, you have enough confidence in it to take that step. That thing that's rising is actually you. You are rising. So today I was in a conversation with some of our spiritual best practitioners and talking about our retreat that is coming up, and someone astutely referred to an issue that they were having with someone that they work with, and we were recognizing that when we are afraid, or when we are convinced that something out there is bigger than me, whether it's my goal or whether it's something I'm trying to get away from that I don't like, that we are identifying in those moments as the separate self. We are identifying as the protective personality. We are identifying as the false self in those moments. Feels real. We know what we feel. We feel the fear, we feel the intimidation, or we feel the hesitancy. It feels very real. But rather than work with you on survival skills, on what to do when you feel that intimidation or when you feel that fear, or you're trying to generate a corrective measure against what it is that's presenting itself, I'd like to offer you this. You could turn that entire thing upside down by simply realizing, oh my gosh, only the protective personality would identify as something that has opposition to something else. Only the separate self has something else to contend with other than itself. When we are identified as the true self, we are literally connected to the cosmos. We literally know that everything that is happening for me. I am generating it, I am orchestrating it on the highest level, and it's knocking me off center in one way or another, if it is. But all the while, I know that it's happening, and I'm actually causing it on some grand scale level to occur in my life so that I can awaken the parts of me that are gapping, the parts of me that are not synced up with the rest of me. And when that's occurring, I have a separate self scenario going on. I have two of me, the part of me that wants to do this and the part of me that is afraid to, a part of me that feels safe and connected to, earth or God or source or whatever, and a part of me that is basing my actions upon past experiences and the ratio of the possibilities of success given my history and how many times I've been in situations like this, and the warning flags go up, and the next thing you know, we're not doing anything. So we're here to connect those two. We're here to bring those two parts back together as one part, back together as one promise, really, as one potential, as one presence of energy. We are energy that is awake, and we're either operating as that in a synchronistic way, or we've hit something and splattered apart. And sometimes we're identifying as this one who knows what it's doing and is here for a purpose and feels connected and can share and shed love on and light on anything and everything all the time. And the part of us that's here working it out. And this part of us is here working it out But when we sit down in the seat of this, we think it can't be worked out. We think we have to start controlling. We think we have to start managing everything. We think we have to be aware ahead of time what's going to happen so that all of life can go in a way that feels comfortable to us. And it's miserable. It's a miserable way to live. Not that it's miserable in a judgmental way. I just mean it feels miserable inside of that seat when we're sitting there. And when we are getting up out of that seat and sitting down in the seat of the soulful self, we see that this is a part of us that we need to embrace. We need to love into the one who's so afraid. We need to embrace and be compassionate and inquire about what's happening there so that we're guiding it constantly and drawing it back in to the reunion that we are seeking. Many ways to do that, all of which we will be exploring in all of the programs that I teach, because it's really why we come. It's what we're doing here. So if we are intimidated, we are identifying as the separate protective personality. If we are afraid that there's something out there that's bigger than me, whether it's a goal that I want to pursue and it's just too big and I can't handle it, or it's some kind of dark energy that I want to stay away from, all of it is the same thing. It is all remedied in the same way. And that is, we have to get up out of that seat, walk up over here and sit down in the seat of the soul so that we can recognize that is the illusion that humanity is wrestling with. That's it. And someone might say, yeah, it doesn't feel like an illusion to me. It's what keeps me, locked down every day. It's what keeps me so intimidated. I can't sleep at night. It keeps me so frustrated that I can't leave the door. I can't get out the door of my home because I just don't want to function in this world in that way any longer or at this time. And all of that is a byproduct of being seated as the protective personality. Here's the deal. When we are seated as the protective personality, we perceive other energies outside of us as bigger, different, intimidating, creating discomfort in some way. And if we are seated as the soulful self, we do not experience those things that way. If we are seated as the protective personality, we even would perceive, and get this, the essential soulful self as the enemy. We would perceive something rising from inside of me or enveloping me that feels like it's threatening my very livelihood, because the ego will ultimately be consumed by the soulful presence, by the essential self. And I want to share with you guys, there's never been a bigger time on our planet, in our lifetime, that this energy has been so potent that the rising of the essential self is happening, period. That's what's happening. And if there are parts of you that are uncomfortable right now, it is because those parts are awake and enlivened as the protective personality, and you are identified as them. That's what's going on. So we want to shift that, and the way that we do is step right into revealing, to sharing, and to shining. Because right now, this is a beautiful time. Whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, it doesn't matter. In the northern hemisphere, it is, the light is changing. We're in a most amazing time of expression. Longer days and shorter nights are, on their way, are here. And as such, we feel a natural expressiveness that is authentic and easy to access. And if we're on the southern hemisphere of the planet, there is also a tremendous change happening right now. And it is generating an involution and a process of reflection and a gathering that happens with longer nights and shorter days. And what I'm really wanting to emphasize is that right now is a moment of transformation. It's a moment of shape shifting. It's a beautiful moment in our yearly calendar where we can leverage and capitalize on the energies that are changing via nature. And as those energies are changing, it is a beautiful time for you to become aware that you are the energy that is wanting to shift in this moment. It's a pinnacle that is moving into a new aspect of a new cycle, a new phase of your life. So let's get lucid and action the light that we are. If you are on the southern hemisphere, dive deeply inside in these days. Dive deeply in there and have a true collection, a collectedness of self in a manner that will emerge in a greater integrated fashion each day that approaches as the days become longer for you. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it is a time for you to express. You're coming out of that very process that I just described, and it is a most valuable time for you to action outwardly. In southern hemisphere, you're actioning inwardly, and what we want to do right now is support everyone in the regions that we are in, and support each other in the regions that are opposite of us, because those that are in the opposite hemisphere than you right now are actually working with the energies in the opposite way that you are. But those energies are eternal, and we are all engaging in the same soup, and there is a giant washing machine that is happening. It's called expansion and anchoring, expansion and anchoring. And so if you'll allow yourself to be included in this global citizenship that is true about you, you'll find that energies are coming forth to support you in a manner that they've been scrubbed down with consciousness, and you didn't even have to do the work, because we're working together as a family around the planet at this time of tremendous transformation. So be aware, be available, allow what is happening in nature to support you in a beautiful and consistent way, because nature is also eternal, moving through cycles after cycles after cycles. And we are here to celebrate that with consciousness. Magnify the light that you are by being aware of what you're actually being drawn to do. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you will be drawn to express and just go for it. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you will be drawn to come inward and integrate and feel and have and be present with the self as you're walking your way into a deeper root and a deeper sense of who you truly are. Okay, so I'm hoping that this is helpful for you. The key is this: it is time to action the light that you are. It is time to action it. And the way to do that accurately is to feel into the energies that are happening where you are at this time on this dear beloved planet of ours, and collaborate with exactly what is trying to happen through you. So remember your brothers and sisters on the other side of the globe. It makes the world a smaller and more loving place when we do. So blessings to you all. I'll see you at the bottom of the hour in the master class, and I look forward to delving into where we get to go then. Okay. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.